Well, when I was in fourth grade, I had a teacher her name was Mrs. Weatherby, and she went around one day. One of the classes we had was she wanted to know what everybody wanted to be when we grew up and graduated. And I told them I wanted to be a teacher and a coach. And she said, "Really?" And I said, "Yes." And we went around. Well, then about a week later, she was out of the room for something. And we had a cotton ball fight in the room. And we had to stay after school. And Mrs. Weatherly got to me and she says, "Don, you're not going to coach and you're not going to be a teacher if you like to throw cotton balls, so you better learn from this." And I did. She was just a great teacher, a great teacher. We started the program here, so it was brand new. And that first year we had 110 kids come out. So we cut it to 20 and went from there. And the first year wasn't pretty. We were 4-14, but they progressed. And they won the state championship 2 years later. So the first game we played Joe City, which is just to the east of us here, and they had been state champs for about 2 or 3 years in a row. And that's when girls basketball was just one big group, and then they broke it off into different sizes. And we played them, and we scored the first 4 points. And I turned to my assistant and said, "Hey, we're going to be right in this thing." Well, the score ended up 80-4, and we didn't score another point, and they scored 80 straight. So it wasn't pleasant, but the gym was full. The people really liked it and were real complimentary, and we went from there. The Native Americans have had a long love life with basketball. A lot of them come from the reservation, and we have a dormitory here. I think it holds around 150, 200 students. And the rest of them drive in every day. And if they happen to make an athletic team, their parents come in and wait for them. And the support that they get is phenomenal from the parents. And if you go out on the reservation and drive through the reservation and to these little villages or just a single house out there, almost every one of them have a basketball court. And the kids start when they're 3, 4, 5 years old, and they play year round. When the season ends here, high school, you can go out on the reservation. There's a tournament out there going on every weekend. This is our state championships in basketball and runner-ups, and as you can see, very nice trophies that the AIA gives us. And then, like I say, that one over there is the football, and mainly football and some basketball. The two teams that really stand out was the 87-88 team. They were a great group of kids. Been playing a lot, and it wasn't predominantly Native American team. It was split about 50-50, and that team went 29-0, and just they were phenomenal. And then the next year, most of those kids were juniors, and they came back the following year and went 31-1. And so between the 2 years there, we were 60-1, and just tremendous bunch of kids. And parents were, I would say, very supportive of us. If we needed something and the school couldn't provide it for us, they'd jump right in. The gym is really a nice gym. The league we play in, we were the first ones to build a new gym in the league we played. Now there's Chinle has a new gym, seats 6,000. Ganado has a new gym that seats 5,000. Window Rock has a new gym that seats 8,000. So you can see the league we're in, how important basketball is. And all those gyms are usually sold out on game nights. And so by the time the kids get to the state tournament where they're going to play, in front of 10, 12, 13,000 people, our kids up here are pretty used to playing in front of big crowds, and that's really a big advantage. Yeah, the biggest memory I have is a year that we won the state championship when we beat Snowflake. We were behind the whole game, as much as 8, 9, 10 points. And we cut it down and cut it down. And with about, I guess there was 38, 40 seconds left in the game, we were down by 7. And we went into a press, and the Snowflake fans were up there yelling, "We're number one, we're number." Anyway, we went into a press, stole the ball, and we got a 3-pointer off of it. So now we're down by 4 with about 25 seconds to go. And called timeout, went to the press again, stole it again, and they hit another 3. So now we're down by 1 with about 10, 15 seconds to go. And they threw the ball out of bounds, so we got the ball, and we ran a little high-low play, and the girl missed the layup, but she was fouled, and she made both free throws, and we won by 1. And that was probably the greatest game that I'll always remember. That, the kids never quit. I got some awards at the high school level, and I think anybody will tell you, I'm not a type of guy that wants to be in the limelight. I do my job. That's all I'm thankful for. This is a wonderful, wonderful award. I never thought in the world that I'd even be considered for something like this, and I'm thankful for that. It's going to be very, very special for me. Very special. I guess my legacy, I hope everybody understands that I worked very hard at my job as a teacher, as a coach. I spent a lot of time with my kids and following up with them. It cut the time I had to spend with my family, but they understood that. And, they understood that my lifelong dream was to be a coach. And so I guess my legacy would be that I hope everybody just looks and say, hey, he did it the right way.